Now it's time to get mess around with the things and intentionally create a lots of error. Now you might have already fallen into a lots of error like your button not working, your app is crashing and you are not able to link properly or something like that. But that is an obvious mistake and we all do that in the starting days of our iOS development. But I would like to take a moment and try to solve all of these problems. So go ahead and create a quick project out there, and I have named this project as a problems, and it's yes really a problematic project. So just create a project and drag and drop some of the labels, button, and I have renamed a one button as a click as well. Nothing really matters. So just drag and drop a couple of items on the screen. And what also I have done quickly just to save time is I have drag and drop by pressing the control key on this file, the viewcontroller.swift. And I have created a label, named it as label, one button and one click. Now, most of them does nothing. And what I noticed immediately that this is a label. This function is changing the label into the hello. And this click is actually named as a UI button, but this is an outlet. Now we want that all of our buttons are really the actions. And that's what we want to do. So we have done a mistake out here. Okay, so how we can get rid of that? Simply just click on that, select all of that and delete. Okay, save that. And now let's get into the problem. So if I run this and notice it build succeeded and we got a crash. Now that's a bit ugly and I want to go back onto my folders, select on the app-delegate.swift and I would like to select the main storyboard. And what's happening wrong out here? We are not even aware of that. Everything looks good on the screen. Everything looks good on our screen of the file code as well. But still, what is happening out here? Now, one of the best way to find out what is happening wrong is to bring your rightmost pane, and we can simply click on any of the buttons and make sure that you select on the rightmost inspector. Now, this is a connection inspector. Now notice, although you have deleted the code from your code file, but still it's referencing to one of the outlets that says click and it's a view controller. Again, a problem of view controller. So although you have deleted the reference, but still it's a view controller. So what you need to do, make sure that if you are deleting anything, you also check out this and you simply delete this now. Now this is going to take a lot of relief from you. Okay, time to check it out, save that and hit the run button. And we are running it in a moment. Build succeeded, but that wasn't also there in the previous one as well. And it is going to open that up. Here it is. So quite a nice one, although we don't do anything specific or fancy out there. Okay, good so far. But what about when you change the name of the function or something like that? Let's say, for example, if I click on that and nothing happens, but if I control click on this one or right click on that, notice there are a couple of options. The same one which we see on this inspector element are also there as well. Like says touch up inside, and if I cross that and just let it go, notice all the button is there, everything is good, but still my circle is not being filled up. Now this gives you a similar kind of attention in your mind that hey, something is wrong. If any circle is not filled up, that says that yes, something is wrong. Now how you can do that? Maybe you want to connect this button to this function or this function to button. Again, you can do a lot of things. Now don't press the control key, just simply drag and drop this to button. Okay, this will work and notice everything is good. And if I check my inspector element by clicking on this one, this guy out there, and we see that touch up inside is being selected. Now let's try to get rid of that. Again, filling it blank. Now there is one more way. I could have simply pressed control key and could have wrapped inside the function. Now this entire blue box will only appear if there is an IB action and not on the IB outlet. So this is the one way how you solve the problem. And in fact, I believe that most of your current running problem of such issues has been solved with that. Now again, what is my advice at that point? Make sure that you select any label and in the inspector element you see something like this, which is making a connection. If all the dots are not filled, that means hey, this is the point where to get an attention that something is going wrong. And if I select this, okay, this is filled. If I select this, hey, nothing is filled, means this is something wrong. But again, This is not at all wrong in this case, although we don't have any connection, also we don't have any code. So although this button will not do anything on the screen, but still it will not pop any error. But again, having a button and which does nothing on the screen doesn't make much sense out there. So make sure everything is filled up. Again, connection and all of these are really simple, but again, this inspector element is really important, which is a connection inspector. Quite a mouthful, but again, this is how we solve the problem. So okay, with most of the requests, people were requesting me by so far that, hey, we want to solve the problems, the buttons are not working or anything. Make sure that you look on these guys out there, these are filled up, and also make sure that you control click and all of that pretty nicely. Like for example, if I want to control and click on that, if I drag it somewhere around, make sure that you take a little bit time out here. A lot of people does that, hey, they type that quick fast and click on the connect. Now you do not want to do that. If I say AAA out there, I will sure that I make a proper connection. Is it an outlet connection, or maybe the action? So this is all the way you should be working around with that. So I hope you have understood how to solve the problem. Now let's move on to the next movie.